works. Today I am working on the command car, the WC6 1941. Specifically, I am finishing putting the front leaf springs on and getting the bushings in, getting everything. So that's my big project for today. May do some more, but that's really what I'm working on at the moment. And so I just wanted to show you guys what's going on. Stay tuned. So I'm putting in these spring shackles. I've repaired the front end, and basically you have, in the front, you have a connector shackle. You have, basically looks like this. There's two different ones. There's this wider one, and this actually fits on the outside, and then you have a straight piece, and basically these are gonna go right here. You're gonna put a shackle bolt through there. The shackle bolts look like this. At the end they have a Zerk fitting so that you can grease them, and you can see a little bit of a flat area where the grease can get in there. Now, what I'm battling right now is that the top bushing fit very, very well, but the bottom bushing is very tight, very snug. And I don't have a reamer. It's very close, but it's so snug that when I tried to tap in these shackle bolts with a hammer, it actually was moving the bushing. So what I am doing is, there's a flat spot on the end of the shackle bolt, and I'm just basically screwing it in there with some lube to get it close, and then I'll finish tapping it in. So here, let me set the camera. Alright, so I'm putting in these spring shackles. The bolts right here. I've got this one, the bottom one, almost all the way in. But it's not, doesn't quite want to go yet, so I'm these are going to go on with a castle bolt, a castle nut, I mean. I'll put a little bit of thread nose stick on here, because at some point I'll probably need to take this back off. So we're going to put some anti-seize on the threads. I try to do this for most of the threads. Just so in the future I'm not fighting the rust again. I found it. It's my 15th, 16th. So I've done a lot of work to the front end of this command car. Basically, it was cracked just aft of the cross member here. I'll zoom out a little bit so you can see. But basically it was cracked from here on both sides. The front was pushed down and twisted, and the bumper was mangled. So, as you guys have heard me talk before, it looks like that it was set up as a snow plow at one point. And that's what damaged the front end. My shackle is turning a little bit here, my shackle bolt, so I gotta straighten it back up here. It's just not turning when it's red. It's just turning when I don't want it to turn. Now this should be a simple job, but as you can see, there is no simple job. Everything's got to fight you when you're restoring these old vehicles. Now these bolts were missing when I originally got this command car. So I'm wondering if there's supposed to be a flat washer behind that. There wasn't a flat washer on there, but let me look at these real quick. So anyway, I got these bushings from Midwest Military, and for the most part they fit. I did notice, and you can see it on this one, that the bushing is just a hair wider than the spring shackle. And down here that seems to make a difference, because it looks like I need to tighten it about 2 more turns to be able to get the cotter pin in. And that's just about the width of that bushing, the extra bushing. So I'm going to take this back off, flip this up out of the way, and I really don't want to have to take that spring shackle bolt out of there, but really to do it right, I'm going to have to take it back out and take my angle grinder and sander, sand that bushing flat to take that 1 to 2 millimeter extra width off of that bushing. The other option is I could take this shackle mounting piece off, and I could grind it slightly to fit, but I'm not a real fan of having to modify my original parts if I can get away with it. Sometimes that's necessary when you start doing repairs, but I really don't want to have to do that. So it's also possible that I've primed this frame with this POR 15, and it is really durable stuff, but when it dries really hard. So it may be that I just need to clean off the POR 15 that's on this shackle in between there. That may be what, it's probably a combination. But anyway. Okay, so I've identified part of the problem, why the spring shackle mounts won't fit quite flat, and I'll basically show you. So these have been on for a really long time, and you can see where just the use and pressure has moved the metal and created a lip. If you look closely, that lip is irregular. It's not supposed to be there. So I basically had to go on the angle grinder and clean that lip off so it will fit flush again. This side is fine. It's pressed a little indent of the bolt, but this is probably a result of all the damage that was in the front of the vehicle and where the pressure was being applied. So I'm gonna clean these up real quick and then we'll put them back on. All right. So I've taken my angle grinder with a little bit of a sanding disc. I pushed the spring shackle bolt back out of the way, and I just kind of shaved off a millimeter, just that little bit of excess of brass. I also cleaned it up a little bit. In addition, I went on the angle grinder and I took off that lip that had developed. And you can kind of see it on here because I just took off just the lip, and you can see the edge where it was, and that should solve my problem as far as having enough space in there. So I've got these castle nuts on. I did not put a flat washer on them. The bottom one, there's no room for a flat washer. The top one may require one. And now I have cotter pins. These are held in place with cotter pins. And I'm trying to find one that's small enough to fit, but not too small. That one might work. I need to try to tighten that up just. All right. I don't want to shave anything else off this, so I'm just going to deepen the grooves slightly in this castle nut with my angle grinder. I'm going to go over here to the bench and do it. Okay. So I went over there, I shaved just a little bit out of the grooves with my angle grinder. Not enough to weaken it. Significantly, that is. So, let's see where we're at now. All right. Success. Kapla! Okay. A little bigger cotter pin. Let's see if that'll fit. Perfect! Perfect! My mom lives with me. Every time she comes out, she uses the word outside, and then the dogs freak out because they're getting to go outside. All right, that one's in. Before I go any farther, I'm actually going to grab a flat rock.